I would now request Major General Govardhan Singh Jamwal. As I said, he's a living legend of history in himself. He is a legend himself. He is not the one who's talking to you about studying the subject or talking to somebody or reading books. He is talking to you what he's exactly seen with his own eyes, what is experienced during this time. So may I now request Major General Govardhan Singh Jamwal, AVSM, to please tell us about the distortions that he feels and what is his perspective about that. Major General Govardhan Singh Jamwal.
Well, let me first thank you, Ajay, for doing this and making it possible for us to hear these wonderful discourses and forcing Harvan Singh ji to go over again and again. Having left Samba, Jammu, even Chandigarh, you are pulling him. It's a very, very good thing. And Varsha ji, I wish you very speedy recovery. You have started doing good work, because I haven't seen much work done in any of the universities or any of the institutions in Jammu and Kashmir regarding the Dogras. For this reason, I went to the governor, Krishna Rao. He was my corps commander here when I was officiating Div Commander. I said, I want a Department of Strategic Study. He said, Govardhan, kya karoge? Dogra to padhte hi nahi hai. I said, that's why I want it, because they should know what they have done. And that is not possible unless we go to the strategic studies, because our state is the most strategic state in the world. And that, particularly the area which you were now discussing, that makes it the most strategic. In fact, we call it the strategic heart of Asia, or maybe now in the world. Always there's on a trigger point and a flash point. But what about the Dogras who created this? This history was created by Dogras. And Dogras are missing. So he was convinced. He didn't say a second word. He said, I agree. And the strategic studies, but we ensured in Jammu that that was either wound up or did nothing for the Dogras, but may have done for Pakistan, Azad Kashmir, Kashmiris or something, but nothing about the Dogras. I mean, since 84, I am almost in the university, but I'm sorry to say that Jammu University has failed miserably. And now the Central University has also done nothing for the Dogras since they have come out. Nobody has done anything. And now today what you are talking and I was talking, you can see how much is required to be done. How many all these inaccuracies are coming about such a strategic area which who have conquered Dogras in spite of the Sikhs, in spite of the British, we conquered it. Nobody was interested, Maharaja Gulab Singh or Zorawar, to go into Mansarovar or Gilgit or those areas, Tibet. But we went. In spite of all these odds, we went. And you know, even Sikhs were against it at one time. And they were pulling us back. And yet, we created what is coming to us today, so that the Exciton area taken over then by Maharaja Ranbir Singh later, that is the only authority with us. But at one stage, you know, the areas of the Tibet, Western Tibet and the Exile, they didn't do even full recce. They won't let them do. They said nothing, nobody lives there, so why worry? So whatever was there or is with us is all due to only Dogras. And they only created this state. But nobody bothered. So I'm glad that you, Harsha, and of course Harvan Singh is already doing writing. And that is my effort also. And now I'm glad Brigadier Deeman has started and he's laying a lot of stress. I hope, because he's a scholar, military scholar also, he understands the military problems which not many people understood. So if all these things are dovetailed and the whole thing and knowledge yours and Harvan Singh, I think something good will come out. And as you said, these the youth, they must take up. How can you lure to them? That's what we are doing all this. Requesting them to listen to all this, what is happening. That is one point. And second is about the distortions galore. Actually, there is nothing which is rightly written. Everything is distorted. And I was just reading the other day, after I've seen many times, but even today, 73 years after the invasion of Jammu and Kashmir, the history is not showing what happened. Even your Wikipedia, on which we so much trust our Googles, this is what is written on the Wikipedia even today. And what is written? The Indo-Pak, somebody asked him what the Indo-Pak War 47, what 48. Says the Indo-Pakistani War of 47-48 of the first Kashmir war was an armed conflict that was fought between India and Pakistan over the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir from 47 to 48. Invasion की बात नहीं करता, पूरी वार की बात कर रहा है. It was the first of 4 Indo-Pakistani wars that were fought between the two newly independent nations. On a possible Indian invasion of Kashmir, Pakistan precipitated the war a few weeks after its independence by launching tribal invasion militants from Waziristan in an effort to capture Kashmir and to preempt the possibility of its ruler joining India. The inconclusive result of the war still affects the geopolitics of both countries. Isn't it a total pack of lies? And it is what everybody is quoting this, using this. And this is in spite of the fact that the whole real story has been written in our history of J&K operations, 1947-48, by the Government of India, Ministry of Defense. Although the book was published late and released in 1987, by that time I had retired. I had many doubts, but couldn't find out. After my retirement, by chance, I came across this book in one of the libraries in Jammu. Nobody had read it. And I asked the GOC, they said they don't know anything about what is written inside. It was so released that nobody should read it. Nobody should know the facts. That is the problem with us. And उसमें क्या लिखा था? उसमें लिखा था कि Major Untold Singh, brigade major, who was the brigade major of Bannu Kohad Brigade, which was given the responsibility of attacking Muzaffarabad. And he was provided 10,000 troops, almost 10 battalions, like a division, all written in the operation order, signed by the chief of the Commander-in-Chief of Pakistan Army, who was British, General Frank Misservey. And his signed operation order was received by Major Untold Singh Kalkat on 20th August 47. That is 5 days after the independence. Operation order of this magnitude has to be written. It will take 2 months. 15 days, 1.5 to 2 months to prepare the plans, the various factors which go into making the operational orders and plan and appreciation. So by 20th August, it has been done. It must have been started about 20th of June, immediately perhaps after Mountbatten went. And that is the fact. But nobody quotes it. Even Reddy, the correspondent, also had said, when he came out in 48 from Lahore, that he had informed somebody that, in fact, he was asked to make a statement that we have attacked. the militants or whatever they call it, they have attacked J&K. But this is all 22nd October. What happened before that? The war was already going on right from first week of September in Jammu. The aim was to pull the reserves to Jammu because they thought Jammu would be more sensitive area for the Dogras. Nothing would be left. It was planned by Scott and by the British. Lord Ismay, who was a Churchill's man, and Churchill had given this fellow to Mountbatten to carry on his mission. The mission of Mountbatten really became mission to hand over J&K or cede J&K to Pakistan. And when he visited, probably Scott must have told him the whole story. Here is what the deployment is. And then how to take the Kashmir, in fact, the whole state, but if not, at least Kashmir upward, they were most interested. Gilgit, Baltistan, the Silk Route, Ladakh, and that's what they almost did it. They almost succeeded. But for Brigadier Rajendra Singh, and it was 100 Dogras who, in spite of the complete surprise, having no reserves in the rear, yet they stopped them and they did not let them reach 100 Dogras with Rajendra Singh. He never allowed them to reach airport. Otherwise, how could the Indian army land? So this whole thing is the truth, but it is nowhere there. And Wikipedia and all that. So from here, I think it's a very good effort we are now doing to educate our people, and the institutions have to take it on. And earlier, sooner we do, better it is. I hope in fact, I've asked many young people and old Dogra historians, history. I said, you must approach the Lieutenant Governor to get this sorted out. Have a team working on this so that the real history of the Dogras comes out. Now, why it has happened? Where are the Dogras? Where is the Dogra state? Who is Dogra? We had generally four places where Dogras were. Jammu, parts of Himachal, which was all Punjab. But after Himachal came Himachal and Hoshiarpur, Gurdaspur, and the part in Shakargarh and adjoining areas in Pakistan. They are the Dogra areas. After 47, Jammu merged into Kashmir, and Punjab was Punjab, and of course Pakistan went, and those Dogras, probably most of them migrated. Hindu Dogras, Muslim Dogras, they stayed there, and they also became under much pressure of the Pakistani non-Dogras and others. But the fact remains that there is no Dogra place in Jammu with us. And therefore, who will talk about Dogra or Dogra history? No one. Because we have no place where we can say it is Dogra. Because Himachal is mostly they call it Pahadi. They have not used the word Dogra. So there is no like Maharashtrian state, Rajasthan state, Rajput, or Haryana identified as Jat, Punjab as Punjabis. So that is the problem with us. There is hardly any bit. That's why the Dogras lost their name and Jammu lost. Jammu became Kashmir only, J&K became only Kashmir, and Kashmiris and others, and no. Now that's why we are finding it difficult to get our identity. We've lost our identity. And with it, we have lost our history. If we don't have identity, how can we bring up our history? So this is a very big task, gigantic task, and now when the union territory has come, and hopefully one day Jammu state, until the Jammu state comes, people will never realize, and nobody will let us have our Dogra's name. Even now, I am doubtful that anything Dogra's history, Dogra's name, Dogra's identity, and all this Dogra's history, where it is lying. So therefore, now with all these efforts, I think there is a lot of scope for our young people, for our researchers to find out the truth. And truth is known, though not written, not often discussed, but truth is known. Therefore, we will have to now put that to the research, put this in the books, in our curriculum, in our institutions, education institution, our books, because otherwise there is every day a question, students asking, youth asking, so what are you are telling? We don't know. We have done our MA, we've done our BA, we've done this. Nothing, we know nothing about it. And that is what the truth is. And that is what the distortion is. What Harman Singh was saying is too much of distortion. Not only distortion, it is, I would say, almost elimination of it. So I'm very glad that the international studies by Hari Sahib has started this. My all good wishes. There's so much to talk. There's so many subjects. Development. Somebody was asking me that what about industry? What about tourism? I said, you don't know that your industry and tourism will be at the cost of Kashmir. So who would allow you to have your tourism in Jammu? I often told them, Colonel Krishna a while again, refer you for a while. He called me one day when he was the governor. He said, after 1990, this Holocaust, when all Kashmiri Pandits were thrown out, and tourism was totally zero in Kashmir, and also Jammu stopped everything except Mata Vaishno Devi, people came and went. So I used to meet him, he called me, he said, what about now Jammu will be finished? I said, yes. He said, there is a Jammu and Kashmir Tourism Development Corporation. I want you to be part of that as the director so that you take care of Jammu at least. I said, okay. Ram Rasool was the chief secretary, and during the governor rule, he was the head of the department of this J&K Tourism Development Corporation. I suggested very simple three things. I said, people will now, tourists will start going to Kullu, Manali, Nainital, Mussoorie, Dalhousie. Nobody will come to Jammu. And once they forget this site, then it will be very difficult to attract this site. So what to do? I said, what do? We identify 10 good destinations in Jammu and get about 1,000 good big tents as we have in the army also. At least one full family can go in one tent, and let us identify 10 places, Bhadrawal, Kishtwar, Basoli, Poonch, Rajouri, etc. and put 10 beautiful camps and invite them, say, free. At least 100 families in each station, or 1,000 families for 5 days. For 3-4 months, you will have a few lakhs of people. And then they will go and tell how beautiful Jammu is and take care of them. What more? I said, put 2 shikaras in Mansar Lake and 2 shikaras in Sunsar Lake, and let's build some kind of a small houseboat in Salal Lake. So all the Mother Vaishno Devi pilgrims at that time were about 15-20 lakhs. Let us put them to this, what they call Salal for houseboat, and then Mansar, Surisar, and you will see these people, Mother Vaishno people will keep on coming, and some tourism will also take place. Said, yes, very good idea. Accepted. 6 months, nothing happened. 1 year, nothing happened. I said, but after a year, he says that the Kashmiris tell me that हमारा tourism खत्म हो गया, लोग चले गए, अब ये culture भी चली जाएगी. So look at this. Culture भी चली जाएगी. 2 शिकारे से culture चली जाएगी. और even no tents were bought. Not a single tent. So do you expect Kashmir will do anything for us? Never. So these are the things why we are nowhere. Our boys are now going outside the state. They have no job here. There is no tourism here. Now, the Vaishno Devi, 1 crore, 12 lakh people came 3 years back. Then they used to come via Jammu. Now with these super fast trains in 4 hours from Delhi to Katra, 6 hours Katra, darshan back and 6 hours back. 24 hours darshan is over. And we have not created anything in Jammu. So all those people will come to Mata Vaishno Devi, yes, and have darshan and go back. No time. So where is the tourism? No development has taken. So these things are all linked. History, tourism, industry, jobs, and then you can imagine. So it's a very good thing you started, and at least let us make the people aware, the youth aware, the government aware, the central government aware that why Dogras are suffering, why Jammu has suffered and will continue suffering until these problems are solved. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot, Jal Jamal.